everyone, welcome to Kèna. My name is Hawa, and for today's episode, as you can see, we've changed a little bit of decor. We're on the mine side of the Simandou project. And the reason why we're here today is because we're interviewing Mike Castel. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Hawa. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having us in what I think is your second house.
Yes, it's more than my second house because I spend 65% of my time here. But
Exactly.
yeah, so very happy to be here.
Look, for those who don't know you, could you please start with a very basic introduction of yourself? If you could share your name, your job title, and also where are you from?
Okay, so my name is Mike Castel. I'm the project director for the mine on Simandou. I come from France and I grew up in a province called Normandy, in the northwest of the country.
Oh, okay. And you joined Rio Tinto pretty recently in 2024 after close to 3 decades of experience in project development in energy and resource industries. Could you share a little bit about your background and also early professional career?
Yeah, so by background, I'm a civil structural engineer. I got my first degree in France, a school called the ESTP. Afterwards, I continued my studies in the US, where I got a second master's in construction engineering and management. And from there on, I joined an American company called Bechtel. I worked in China for about 3.5 years. And I worked on a project where the client was Shell, and that took me to probably another 10 or 12 countries.
Wow.
I spent the bulk of my career in Asia, but to go back to my earlier career, I started in the field as a field engineer and quickly rose to construction manager and then project manager.
You have spent a lot of your time, if not most of your time, in gas and oil industry. What inspired you to join the mining sector and more specifically the Simandou project?
So, for me, I was privileged to have worked on few projects that were what I call nation building projects, where really what you do is beyond a project for a company. For me, that's the type of project that comes across once in your lifetime, so yeah. I had to come.
We're happy you're here. So you spent almost 2 years in Guinea already. What have you enjoyed about working here in this country?
I don't say that because you're Guinean, but it's the people. Really lovely people, very friendly, curious, and very welcoming. So that to me was, not surprised, but it was another thing that made me like Guinea even more. So for me, that's probably the most important highlight is the people.
So as you know, the mining industry can be quite complex to understand. If you can walk us through in the simplest way possible the full Simandou mine infrastructure from the top of the mountain to the rail loop, and also explain to us how it all works together to deliver the ore to the trains.
Okay, all right. So as you say rightly, the purpose of the mine is to deliver ore to the rail. All right. So if we start from the start of the process, effectively what we're building is a very, very, very large quarry. I'm simplifying it. So you got the open pit, so where you dig out the ore. So that's done currently by the mining ops group. The project is taking care of the infrastructure. So what we do is we're building the primary crushers. So those are big buildings where you've got a piece of equipment that actually chews through rocks and reduces the size to about something that's a bit smaller than a football. Then from there on, it goes down on a series of conveyors that takes you to another building where you crush it to something that's a bit bigger or a bit smaller than a mobile phone. Obviously, you got smaller particles, and all that goes down on a very long conveyor, which is called a downhill conveyor. And that conveyor then goes to another set of conveyors that takes you to what we call the stockyard. So the stockyard is the place where you stockpile the iron ore, and you can reclaim it, so you take it back. So you got 4 big machines, 2 that are stockpiling it, and 2 that are taking it back. And the iron ore then is placed on 2 conveyors, and actually that's what you could see behind us. And those 2 conveyors go to 2 big silos with a pretty complicated system to load the train, which are called the train load-out silos. And underneath those silos, you got a big rail loop where the trains effectively go around, get loaded, and go back to Conakry. That's the simplest way I can explain it.
That's pretty clear.
That's the process. Obviously, to make that work, you need electricity. So we have a power station. You need to have buildings to maintain the equipment and the mining fleets, so, big workshops. We need offices. Obviously, we have camps, camps that you need for operations, but also camps that we need for the construction phase. We currently have 3 camps where we have in excess of 6,000 rooms. So big infrastructure. Yeah. And obviously lots of things around it to make sure that the mine can run.
A big project like this comes with its own set of challenges. What are some specific challenges that you face within the construction of this mine?
I would say the first thing is is the rainy season. I've had the opportunity to work in places that are quite wet, places like the Philippines or Indonesia or Malaysia or southern China, where you do have a pretty heavy rainy season. Until you come to Guinea, you don't know what the rainy season is. So very challenging 3-4 months where it's very difficult from a productivity perspective, especially when you do a lot of bulk earthworks, civil works, where it's very sensitive to rain. Very, very challenging. So that's probably the first thing. Second thing is logistics. Bringing things from the port in Conakry or Moarabaya, you got to cross the country. So when things don't get delivered on time or out of sequence, it makes things a bit more complicated from a project perspective. And the last piece is especially working on steep inclines, the upper part of the mine. The bulk earthworks to do the ramp that takes the Daniel conveyor was a massive piece of work. Took over 16 months to do that. Lots of hard work. So those three things are probably the main takeaways for me.
This question is I think it's going to be a little bit difficult to respond because I'm guessing there's so many. But if you had to pick one of the most memorable moments within the construction of this mine project advancement, what would it be?
So for me, I've got several, but the one that is probably the most significant is when we completed the bulk earthworks and the civil work on the downhill conveyor and the secondary crusher. It was an area that was very challenging from an engineering perspective, right at the edge of a slope, lots of work, and pretty much that opened up all the mechanical activities for the primary and secondary crusher. And there was for me, it was beyond the technical side. It was really the team spirit. All that is progressing really well. Working that steep terrain in the rainy season was very tough. Took a lot of effort from everybody. The workforce was very resilient. So that to me is probably the main takeaway, and just the example of what teamwork can achieve.
I think this question will benefit a lot of people, especially the younger generation that are watching us right now. If you could speak to your youngest self, the young Mike, not saying you're not young anymore, but what advice would you give?
I would say two. So seeking difficult assignments, going tough places, not only makes you a better person, a better professional, you're more resilient, but also what it does, it makes you gain confidence. And doing tough things, that's how you get there. So that's the first advice. Second thing is, maybe it's the engineer talking here, but I probably discovered a bit too late in my career that it's all about people. So really investing into teams, people, because at the end of the day, projects or anything that you do, it's people that do it for you or with you. So really it's a case of investing in relationships and investing in people. So those are the two things that I think would have, the first part, I was fortunate enough to go to do hard things. But invest in people and relationship is probably what I wish I would have known earlier in my career.
Well, thank you for those who are listening. I'm sure they're going to take it as soon as possible as an advice. My last question, probably the hardest to respond because it's so tough to know. What is one wish that you want to have, that you have for the future of the Simandou project?
For me, from a project perspective, is that we finish the job safely. That's one thing that's paramount. The project will get built. We just need to make sure that everybody goes home safely. So that to me, that's my first wish. And for me, the second thing is a legacy. You asked me the question why I chose Simandou. Is you build something for SimFer, Rio Tinto, and a partner Chinalco, but it's beyond that. It's for the country. It's what you leave behind. So for me, my big wish is that Simandou delivers on its promises and enables Guinea to get the future it deserves.
Well, that's the best way to finish this interview. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for having us, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.